Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone, your journey, our passion, and by Dow Automotive Systems, improving durability and increasing design flexibility with Betamate structural adhesives at dowbetamate.com.
Hello and welcome to an all-new Autoline Daily. I'm Murray Feldman, Fox 2 News in Detroit, filling in for John, who's in China. We're going to have more on that in a minute, but first let's get to today's top stories. As you know, automakers have been struggling to sell cars in Europe, but there was some good news last month. Sales in the EU hit 1.16 million units in September, which is a gain of 5.4% compared to last year. Part of the reason for the increase was one extra selling day and a nearly 30% increase in sales in Spain, thanks to government incentives there. However, through the first 9 months of 2013, sales in the region are down about 4%. And while Europe saw a rare bright spot in sales, the opposite is happening here in the USA. Bloomberg reports that John Krafchick, head of Hyundai's U.S. operations, says the government shutdown is affecting sales and they could drop by as much as 10% in October. And speaking of the government shutdown, after it went into effect, Hyundai launched a program to allow furloughed government workers to delay car payments. Nissan followed with a similar offer, and now Toyota will allow its customers impacted by the shutdown, including Lexus owners, to defer car payments for up to 3 months. Hopefully this isn't a sign that the shutdown is going to last longer than tomorrow's deadline. Back to Hyundai for a moment. The company is now going to set up its own performance division in Europe to help bolster its performance credentials. Hyundai has already opened a testing center at Nürburgring in hopes to enter a real-world contender in the World Rally Championship. The first European Hyundai performance vehicle expected to be a version of the new i20 hatchback. It comes out in 2015. Well, if you're wondering where my friend John is, who usually hosts Autoline Daily, right now he and the Autoline team are over in Wuhan, China, covering the 4th annual Global Automotive Forum. Wuhan is a city of over 10 million people located in central China. It's sometimes referred to as the Chicago of China, thanks to a series of roads and railways and bridges that make it a transportation hub in that part of the country, and a perfect host for the Global Automotive Forum. In fact, the GAF, as it's called, kicked off earlier today with a press briefing on China's 10th largest conference, which attracts executives and politicians from all around the world, including many panelists who will be attending. And one panel is hosted by John himself. It's called New Energy Vehicles, where they'll be discussing everything from EVs to hybrids and more. The Autoline team covering the conference for both Daily and Autoline this week. Look for continuing coverage of the GAF here at Autoline.tv. Ford and General Motors will be replacing their CEOs in the near future, so that begs the question, who do you think should be running these automakers? It's coming up next.
Dow Automotive Systems, driving solutions in automotive, commercial transportation, and aftermarket with innovative products like Betamate structural adhesives. Lighter, stronger, safer. dowbetamate.com.
The big automotive story we'll be following over the next 12 months will not be under the hood, but in the driver's seat of two of the big three, Ford and General Motors. Who will lead the companies? Both Alan Mulally at Ford and Dan Ackerson at General Motors have been dropping clues that 2014 will probably be their last. Both companies are taking steps to ensure a smooth transition. Ford has Mark Fields on deck. General Motors has a handful of talented top executives it's grooming or considering for the post. It's all designed to make it happen in a seamless way. From a business standpoint, not only makes good sense, it's good business, a good business move, and Wall Street should be happy with that. But I know what you're probably thinking. I read your comments on the Autoline website all the time. Smooth transition, secret words for more of the same. And I know how much you love that. I'll have John and the Autoline team put some more space in the comments section of the website, so let it roll. Who do you think they really need, and what should they do when they get there? And before I go, make sure you tune in tomorrow night to Autoline After Hours. With John out of town, the auto extremist Peter DiLorenzo takes over the hosting duties. Joining him for that discussion will be Scott Burgess from Motor Trend, Tom Lassa of Automobile, and the one and only Jim Hall of 2953 Analytics. So mark your calendars for 6 p.m. tomorrow night for some of the best insider discussions in the automobile industry. That's it for today's show. Once again, I'm Murray Feldman from Fox 2 News here in Detroit, sitting in for my friend John, who's in China. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.